folks, and welcome back to the channel. Mike and I are at Mineral Lake today. It is July 21st. The water temp is about 71 degrees. Mineral Lake is in Lewis County. It's a 222 acre lake, and they stock it with rainbow trout and brown trout. Right now I have a max spinner on the right side of the kayak, and I'm running that long line no weight at 75 feet behind the boat. And on the downrigger, I'm running a Trout Tricks minnow and bubblegum at 8 feet, marking fish between 5 and 15 feet. So we'll make adjustments as the day goes on, and we'll keep you posted.
Good morning. We're out here at Mineral Lake, which is in Lewis County, and it's a pretty good lake for trout fishing usually. Haven't been out here this year at all, so we thought we'd bring the kayaks and give that a try. They catch a fair number of rainbows in here, some fairly large brown trout. There's some other species in here too, so that's what we're going to be targeting. We're going to be trolling about 1.8 to 2, somewhere in there. Probably using a downrigger. Water temperature is 72. I don't have the fish hawk on the boat, so I can't tell you what the depth is for the thermal climb, but it gets fairly deep out here in the center, 40-50 feet. Do a little depth exploration, see what we come up with.
So Mike was the first to hook up, and it was probably within the first 2 or 3 minutes of fishing, and he found that fish 100 feet with 1 ounce of lead, and he's using that max spinner as well.
Got my first fish on. It was 96 feet with 1 ounce of lead, which puts it about 10 feet deep. Fish on. Ooh, away he went. 100 feet with 1 ounce of lead. Nice trout.
So we're hooked up. That's 105 feet with 1 ounce of lead on the right side of the kayak, and that's that max spinner in pink and silver. Mike got one right off the bat. It's taken me a little bit to hook up. I've moved the downrigger to deeper water just because I see a lot of big marks there, and so we'll mess around with it. 1 ounce of lead at 105 and trolling just about 2 miles an hour should put me somewhere in the area of about 11 feet deep. That should look really good on the camera.
Looking over the boat, going out the other side. Soft plastics, Finesse plastics of late. Not intentionally trying to catch panfish or bass, but because they interest me. So I'm running a plastic crawfish here on a 1/6 ounce jig head. It's a Ned rig jig head, so the plastic should stand up straight when it hits the bottom. It's kind of a mushroom jig head. I'll show it to you. You may be able to see it well, but it's a mushroom jig head, and then it's got a soft plastic crawfish on it. And I'm just kind of drifting this edge here and tossing them in here. There's some brown trout in this lake, and I see indications all over that there's crawfish in this lake. So I figured I would try this a little bit rather than pedaling and pedaling and pedaling all day. But we're going to see how this works and see if I can't pull something up for you. I know there's crappie in this lake, and there's bass in this lake as well, and rainbow and brown. So I'm just going to try this a little bit. The plastic thing I just find really enjoyable because you're not doing much. You're just kind of drifting along and looking at contour, and you're looking at the side of the lake and the bottom, and just pitching in likely areas. So it's kind of fun.
So hooked up again. I just went back down 105 feet max spinner.
One is 18 feet deep on a Trigger Spoon Junior from Fish America. Pete caught a nice brown, which they are in here. I have never caught one in here though. That's a rainbow there. Nothing special for size, but oh, I'm sorry. That might be a brown as well. That is a brown. I'll be damned. He's off that Trigger Spoon Junior. That is a Blue Fire Tiger Trigger Spoon Junior. It's a killer spoon, man. That is such a great pattern. Small one, but that's a brown nonetheless.
So that's 4 back-to-back hits, and it finally hooked up. I'm just getting ready to switch. I had a hammered gold Trout Spoon Junior on the downrigger, and I didn't get any action, so I'm going to switch it out to a Captain America Trout Tricks, or I'm sorry, a Trigger Spoon Junior.
That's the Trigger Spoon Junior, 19 feet on the downrigger. Oh, Jesus. Stay in the water, dude. Where is he? There we go. Right back in the water again. Nice work, dummy.
So you see, I just made that adjustment not too long ago. I went to a Captain American Trigger Spoon Junior, and I set the downrigger at 21 feet, and then I brought it up 3 feet at a time. And really what I was doing was starting chasing marks 3 feet at a time, so 18 feet on the downrigger. And here's that Captain America Trigger Spoon Junior from Catch America, a good spoon. Again, I started at 21 feet. I started coming up in 3 foot increments and hooked up.
This is an interesting situation. I decided to run 2 rods here. Got my spinning rod back there about 75 feet with an ounce of lead and a red Imperial spoon. So I'm running the metered braid on this one just to control depth. And that's kind of how I know where I'm at with depths. And these little rainbow. I'll show you the spoon. Pink Imperial. It's just a cheesy little plastic spoon, single Siwash hook. And it has a really good action in the water. It's very light, flutters very easily.
So I was letting down on the downrigger, and I'm hooked up now on the max spinner. And I had quite a thing going. There's some submerged trees in this lake, and actually went over the submerged tree, caught it on the downrigger cable with the ball and the lure, and so took me a bit to get that unscrambled. And of course, one of the things you're worried about is, you know, having the kayak have that downrigger cable, 200-pound braid, get wrapped around that tree, and then you're moving and that pull you over. And so you'll see I keep a knife here in my vest in case I had to cut away. Obviously I didn't have to cut away. I just took my time, reeled the stuff back in, and went around the tree, and it all came off. And this thing is just a dank. So we're hooked up again on that Captain America spoon. I'm really liking this spoon. Again, I have hundreds of spoons, and you know, obviously I have Cast Masters, I have some Dick Knights, I have some triple teasers, Cast Masters, but I bet I have 100 to 125 Catch America spoons. They're collections of trigger spoons, trigger spoon juniors, speed spoons are just amazing. And those are the spoons I typically go to first when I'm fishing, and so they have such an assortment. If you go to their website, you can find them. And typically, when I started out, I pretty much bought everything they had and just fished it and figured out what worked. But part of the development as a fisherman, right, is figuring out which colors work. And so do you need bright colors such as chartreuse or pink or orange, or do you need imitation colors that look like bait fish, right, like blue over silver, or Sometimes just a dark spoon on overcast days, or if you're fishing deep. And so again, I have hundreds and hundreds of spoons, and I'd say 90% of them, 85% at least, are Catch America spoons, and just amazing spoons. So we're hooked up again on that Captain America Trigger Spoon Junior, and I was trolling between 1.8 and 2.1. And again, sometimes just making speed adjustments, random speed adjustments, will help help improve your catch rates or hookup rates. And the other thing I like to do is, when action's a little bit slower, instead of trolling in a straight line or a pattern, zigzag a little bit. And what that does is it causes your bait to speed up and slow down and raise and lower in the water column, and you can gain a lot of information from that, such as if I'm always hooking up when I'm making a turn to the right and the inside rod is hooking up, well, that's a depth issue or a speed issue or both, because as you turn inside, your inside rod, and that is a brown trout. Yeah, that is a Mineral Lake brown trout right there. Again, Mineral Lake brown trout. That was a nice takedown. I'm not even sure why I'm trying to net that one, to be honest with you. It's not that big. I'm gonna have a full-on yard sale by the time this is over. And off he goes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck. You go this way so I don't catch you. Oh, fish on. Whoa. I'm not even gonna say until I see it. Nah, just a lot of fight. 25 feet again. So we're gonna do a wrap up for Mineral Lake today. Mike and I hit the water about 9 o'clock, so just shy of 5 hours or so fishing. The hot ticket for me was a Trigger Spoon Junior in Captain America pattern from Catch America, and on the right side I was using the Max Spinner with a Brad's Moon Jelly Dodger. For the downrigger, the fish came all between 18 and 25 feet on the downrigger, and on the lead setup they were between 90 and 125 feet with an ounce of lead. Final count for me, I believe, was 10. Mike got 5 or 6. Mike had the same issue today that I had yesterday, in that the battery died in his fish finder, so he was fishing blind, which you see the video from yesterday. I caught 4 yesterday, but it was really hard without any intel. So Mineral Lake is known for some large fish. They have up to 10-pound trout here in this lake. What's also nice is they got brown trout, and as you can see from earlier footage, I caught a really nice brown 19 feet on the downrigger with the Captain America pattern Trigger Spoon Junior. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you check out our channel and subscribe. Go to Catch America, check out their tackle, get you some spoons, and come out and hit Mineral Lake. And if there's any lake you want to see Mike and I hit, make sure you go to our site and send us a comment.